Hello, you are live with ArchieLuxury. ArchieLuxury, the greatest YouTube entertainer of all time. Today, we're talking President Trump, making America great again. And joining me, we have my resident American expert, Clyde. Hello, Clyde. How are you?
Good, thanks. How about yourself, Archie?
Hey, I'm a huge Donald Trump fan. I 100% support the attack on Syria.
Okay.
I support everything that the Trumpster has done. And I want to talk to you. You're an American. Even Hillary Clinton supports the decision to bomb Syria. Do you agree with that decision?
Well, I mean, I have to admit I haven't really been keeping up as closely on it as I probably should have been, but was that the one where we struck at the
Syrian air base?
Because they're dropping nerve agent or something like that on civilians? Yes. Nerve agent is some nasty shit. That is some absolutely horrible. It's like using insecticide. It's like using bug spray on human beings.
It's disgusting. They're really nasty fuckers.
Here's how nasty it is. Even Hitler was like, nah, because the Germans had sarin gas. They could have used it in World War II, but even Hitler was like, dude, I've got standards. We're not going to go that low.
Now hang on a minute.
That's how low that is.
Just let me correct this. Hitler didn't use gas in warfare, but he used fucking gas in the concentration camps. Can we just clarify that?
Oh, yeah. Well, okay, big oversight on my part, but yeah.
Yeah, because the reason I correct you on this is one of our politicians in Australia said the same thing, without realizing that Hitler had actually gassed so many fucking people. Genocide, it's called.
But Trump wasn't doing that. Trump, you can't compare this exercise of what Hitler to Trump. There's no way in the world doing something for the United States of America which he promised. He wants to put some sort of profile back into America. We're not to be pushed around, and he's doing it. He's just dropped the biggest bomb on Afghanistan, apart from an atom bomb. On top of the Taliban hideout.
What do you think of that idea?
Great, good. Very, very impressive mark. He's done something good. I'm not sure if he's representative who gets up and describes his actions. I forget the gentleman's name, but he's his press advocate. I'm not sure if he's representing Trump as good as what Trump could do himself.
Spicer.
Now what happened.
America great.
You got to remember, Barack Obama in 2012, right? Barack Obama warned that a chemical attack would mark a red line in 2012. His administration ultimately pulled back from proposal to launch an offensive when reports of a deadly sarin attack emerged in August 2013. Trump has gone and grabbed the bull by the horns and gone and stopped this nonsense.
Good on him. Good on him, for my opinion. Good on him.
Well, the trouble is, though, if it's against the Syrian government, that's about the only counterweight, ineffective as it is, about ISIS completely taking over lock, stock, and barrel. So it's a reason why the United States hesitated taking Saddam Hussein out the first time.
Now, I reckon North Korea's next. We've got to they're going to have to. I reckon they should fucking.
It's not going to happen, mate.
What?
There's not going to be a world war. Trump doesn't want a world war. It's a world war. It's just chest banging.
Nobody likes North Korea. I'd like to see him launch an attack on North Korea next.
Not going to happen. Because you think China's going to permit that? Monetarily.
They'd call,
brings up North Korea.
they'd call our mortgage. They'd call the mortgage on the United States.
Let you know, like nuking, North Korea. Like if you're going to make North Korea is going to make any intention or give any advance warning to the world, that they're going to nuke New York or something. What do you think China's going to do? They're going to blow Pyongyang off the face of the planet. To them. North Korea or America? We're talking Chinese here.
Right. Absolutely.
So tell me this: are you happy with Trump? Suckerhorn, are you happy with Trump's performance to date?
We've had this discussion before, with regards to, would you vote for Trump? In my hand, I said no, I didn't. No understanding amongst people like Clyde, who's got to pay $750 a week, Medicare, payment to the government, and he's not getting any, and there's a lot of people like that in America. Certainly there is a lot of what's the word, inequity within the states, with regards to health services and that I see as being primitive. Why America doesn't have a free medical service, I do not know. Like they're theoretically the most advanced country in the world, yet they don't have a free medical service for people who can't afford free medicine. To my opinion, education should be in the same circumstance. So education should be free to all equally.
Tell me this, John. Are you happy with what Trump has done so far?
As far as dropping the big bomb on Afghanistan and having a go at Assad, yep. I let out a big cheer when they let off that big one, into Syria. Well done, I thought. It's only but drawn America closer together, I think. If I'm wrong, Hillary Clinton said it was a good move.
Yep, that's right. She did.
To get the point across, quit doing. To get the point across, by quit doing that. But I almost think that point could be put across with the Syrian government. Look, ISIS is about to eat your freaking lunch. We'll pull all support. We'll pull all combat. We'll quit all combat operations. Us and the allies will no longer militarily support you, and ISIS will run you guys over. I almost think, I think there's still, I don't know how, if diplomacy was exhausted or not. But as a former field artilleryman, shit blowing up is really cool. Just to be honest, in general.
Look, Trump, you've just had the president or the prime minister or whatever, he's, the highest ranking from China, come to visit your country. Meantime, while they're playing golf with each other on Trump's, estate, wherever it is. Where is it? Florida or something? I don't know where it is. Multi-million
Mar-a-Lago, Florida. Mar-a-Lago.
Well, they've been playing golf and eating crayfish and guns in their head and having a good ball, having a good fun with each other, haven't they? Let off this, bomb over Syria and didn't mention over Path, hole on the golf course. Oh, by the way, we're gonna give Syria a bit of a belting. The Chinese premier say, yeah, no worries, give them a kick.
Yep.
What the Chinese premier didn't know before it all happened. Russians, out of courtesy.
So, guys, I want to ask you this. Guys. You support the Trumpster? Let's take a vote. What would you give Trumpster out of 10 so far, Suckerhorn?
Well, as per Donald Trump's words, he's done 4 in 8 weeks, to reinforce, the United States of America's, status and power in the world, than what Obama did in 8 years. We are limited in the press for what we read here. You know, I'm not reading the same thing as what Clyde's reading, you know, or our American viewers are reading. We're all subject to Murdoch. You know, and Murdoch's got his got his agenda. So you know, our information and knowledge is limited. Given that, you know, if you wanted to score Trump out of 10, Hillary's sticking up for him, saying, you know, that, you know, his actions were acceptable. You know, you've got to give him a 10, don't you?
How about you, Clyde? Give me your opinion, Clyde.
Wag the dog. Wag the dog.
No wonder.
You're a Democrat, aren't you? You're a Democrat, Clyde, aren't you?
Contrarian, but yeah. And no wonder Hillary supported that, because that's a text right out of Bill Clinton's playbook. Really, when the impeachment stuff started is when we started having all the military operations in Bosnia and the former Yugoslavia, just to take attention away from the impeachment. Wag the dog.
Ooh. Did you like Jimmy Carter as a president, Clyde?
No. I mean, as a person, yes. As a president, no.
I agree. Jimmy Carter's a very nice man.
A very good man and very moral man. You do not want a very good nor a very moral man to be president. You need someone who's at least a little.
Right,
you need someone who's a little bit of a son of a bitch if they have to be.
I like Nixon. Did you like Nixon?
Well, let's see. I was 7 or 8 when he resigned. So you know, everyone in Oklahoma was certainly for him. He had, you know, really good, I mean, solid foreign policy experience. You know, even despite having at the time the most disgraceful presidency in modern U.S. history, you know, subsequent presidents went to him for advice on foreign policy for decades afterwards. So he really redeemed himself in a lot of ways. Yeah, the thing is, I kind of feel bad for Johnson, though, because Johnson had all these great ideas, the Great Society, tried to reform American society at home, but it completely got sidetracked politically and economically by the war in Vietnam.
I got a bit shitted off with Johnson after he killed Kennedy.
We've covered this. It was one. You're fucking with me, aren't you?
Going there,
No.
I mean, did you see that photo when Kennedy's been killed? He wasn't exactly disappointed, was he?
Mate, they've, you know, fair dinkum. Now let's think about it. You know, they've got about 48 fucking nukes, you know, hanging about 20 kilometers off the coast of fucking Texas or fucking New Mexico or something. Huh? And this bloke, you know. Oh, look, I'm not going to go there, gentlemen. I'm sorry I opened up my mouth on Kennedy. I remember where he was. I remember where I was when he died. How was it when Kennedy died? I remember specifically, it stopped the world that day.
It's because of Kennedy did a deal with the mafia and then stabbed them in the back.
Or Bobby.
I'm not going there.
Was Kennedy a good president?
Kennedy was the first president of the United States who wasn't a Mason.
Who wasn't amazing?
Kennedy was the first president of the United States of America, a Mason.
Oh, a Mason. Oh, like, okay, like the people with the
secret handshake.
Yeah, aprons and shit like that. Yeah. Well, yeah, because he's Roman Catholic. Yeah. In other words, he's Roman Catholic.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is, though, I was talking with a really old conservative judge about that, and even he's really, really ultra conservative, but even he admit he did secretly admire Kennedy. But I think if Kennedy hadn't handled the Joint Chiefs as well during the Cuban Missile Crisis, had it been someone with a little bit less military experience and foreign policy experience, we may not be sitting around talking. Anyway, where's my goddamn e-cig? Trump. I think, you know,
feeling for the world time that Cuban Missile Crisis. I remember turning around to a mum. You know, it was going to be a war, mum. What happens? You know, like she was politically attuned.
What went wrong
Pretty
in Vietnam? If Kennedy had lived, there would be no war in Vietnam. You know that?
Oh, bullshit. We'd still be fighting there. We'd be fighting in Vietnam. The Yanks would still be fighting in Vietnam. You know, if Kennedy was there, you know, and Kennedy's attitudes were still there. He fell for the domino theory. For the domino theory, which was very popular in the 50s and the 60s.
Well, in a way, yeah, but there was a little bit of validity to it because of containment. You know, communism was able to thrive just simply by absorbing new countries and absorbing their natural resources. If you could stop the flow of it economically, you know, communism would collapse. We just didn't think it would be as quickly and thoroughly as we thought it was going to, as it actually happened. You know,
it was a disaster. The collapse of communism was an absolute disaster.
Communism was
collapsed. Happened in Gorbachev's country. The West has not lost. They're all unemployed. The arse is falling out of the joint. Everest Putin, backed by the Ustasha. And you know, what's the name of the joint? What's the CIA in Russia? Okay? What's that called?
KGB.
Yeah, KGB.
The what?
KGB.
If they could have continued economically, they would have. But that's why they had to. That's why they had to do open up glasnost. That's why they had to initiate that. Jesus Christ! I'd almost rather we start talking about Trump again.
Yeah, get on Trump. He's marked a line in the sand for your country. You're saying to the world at the moment, don't fuck with us, we'll fuck you. Fair enough.
Well, I mean, one of the things that Trump was also talking about when he campaigned about it was backing out, either backing out of our security and military obligations or demanding allies pay their fair share. Why are we picking up the tab to police the world?
Look, Clyde, if it wasn't for the fucking Yanks, I'd be speaking Japanese. You know, people don't appreciate about that. You know, like Australia would be speaking Japanese if it wasn't for the Yanks. Act, you know, which we deny in our country. The United States of America isn't given enough credit for, in my opinion. Japanese, you know, konnichiwa.
Well, true, but you know, let's also not forget the contributions of the Russians in World War II. I think the United
Russians.
Yeah, they took on the best and the biggest part of Hitler's forces. We were simply launched on against the West Wall. We were just cleaning up their sloppy second line troops, the leftovers. That's why they built all those fortifications, because they didn't have enough troops there and enough good troops to take on a full assault. I mean, a conventional assault. The Russians, God.
The same mistake as what Napoleon did. He went into Russia in winter time. That was his greatest error. Gone in the summer, may have, you know, it certainly would have got past St. Petersburg. They never got to Moscow, did they?
Within 20 kilometers, I believe.
Yeah, to Moscow. But, you know, Hitler did it in the middle of winter. Greatest mistake. That was his error. He didn't learn.
Well, actually, I think they would have went in 6 weeks earlier, but they had to do some mopping up in Greece. So I think that took a few months over there. So actually, we kind of, you know, actually, if it wasn't for the Greeks, if he would have went in April or May like he originally wanted to, it might be a slightly different story.
Yeah, well, the Greeks didn't put up any great resistance, did they?
As much as they could. I mean, it's like junior high basketball team going against the NBA. The fact that they even showed up to play says something.
It was a British protectorate at that stage, Greece, wasn't it?
No, well, maybe. I think Britain may have had some security obligations there. I think the Greeks took care of the Italians by themselves without any problems. I think then Hitler had to go bail out the Italians in Greece. That's what
So
led
we're
to
veering the
Barbarossa.
conversation around from wars to that of the surrender monkeys. That are the Italians and the French, are we?
I don't know if the Italians are surrender monkeys. They just got their asses kicked. No, they just got they got their asses kicked. They got their asses kicked good and hard, no matter where they went. So that's not even. I won't even dignify the Italians with the fascist Italians with surrender monkeys. That's too good, considering their involvement in that war. Okay, he's gone. What do you want to really talk about?
Is he gone? Is he? Now he's gone. What can we talk about?
I don't know.
Difficult topic to to sit back and talk about the president of a nation and who has made his life judgmental on how he's done that. Case of 6 years taking the greatest role in the world. You've got to admire the gentleman, don't you?
Right.
You must admire the gentleman. Pardon me. No. You don't necessarily have to agree with his his political views.
No, sorry. Who are we talking? Who are we talking about again?
The line he's drawn in the sand, what he's done for the United States of America, is like he's saying, "Don't fuck with us," isn't he?
True, I do expect. Yeah, well, you expect him to be bellicose, just from the way he is, brawler. Just a Manhattan developer. Those guys will fight over anything. Trouble is, though, I mean, I'm just worried about the economy over here. It doesn't matter if our economy collapses, if our way of life disintegrates. Does what we do in another country really matter? If we spend ourselves from one time we were the world's only superpower, and the way we're going, hell, in 20 years we'll be third rate.
And America's generosity to the world. Is there ever a crisis in the world, or there's or a dispute first? I'm not saying that their actions are necessarily correct in their movements. Try and help these things. I can't say about the Aussies. I can't say that about any other country. But as far as a nation in this world, the United States is disproportionate to any other country with regards to help.
Well, maybe we should take more of an effort to take care of our own people first, apparently like every other country is.
Advice, Clive. That's very good advice.
No. Okay, he's back.
Yeah, I got to say to you, Clyde, it's. I want to look at some of these presidents. I just want your opinion on them, okay? Okay, let's go. I want to start with some could have beens. Dukakis. Were you a Dukakis fan?
I was anti-Reagan.
Okay.
Yeah,
what did Reagan do wrong?
What did Reagan do wrong?
He's one of the greatest presidents of all time.
He's an actor, in my opinion.
Right.
Good actor.
Listening to his wife, let us. I mean,
fit in perfectly for the role for what the public wanted. Whereas Trump's not doing that at the moment. You know.
Tell me this:
Trump's
George W. Bush, Senior and Junior.
George H.W. Bush. Okay,
Yes.
I have to admit, I think H.W. got a bad rap. I think at the time, I think kind of thought he was a crappy president, but later on, it's just like, oh Jesus, I don't think we didn't know when we had it good when he was president. I thought his foreign policy was thoughtful and at times even unpopular. I think he had the type of person that did the right thing, even though he ultimately suffered for it. But it's just like anything else. But then the economy went to hell afterwards. So all the goodwill he gained during the first Iraq War was people forgot about the victory parades when they started lining up in the unemployment lines.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
How about Gerald Ford? Are you a Gerald Ford fan?
I was thinking of 9 or 10. Kind of like Carter in a way. I mean, a good guy. I mean, probably a really stand-up guy. Probably tried to do the right thing, just not effective. And again, pardoning Nixon was suicide for him. That's why he didn't get reelected. And I think he knew that would cause him not to get reelected, but he made the decision, we need to get Vietnam. I mean, we need to get Nixon behind us. We need to get Watergate behind us, and we need to run the country instead of just going on a witch hunt. That's why he did the pardon.
Gerald Ford. He did the right thing by giving him a pardon.
Yeah, I think so. What good would it do?
Yes, but he killed his own career in the process.
No, that's called courage.
It's called stupidity.
It's called leadership.
Yeah, I see what you're saying there. It's a very interesting scenario there. And Carter lost to Reagan. Reagan had 2 terms. And then you had the Bush administration came in. Were you a Clinton fan?
Yeah, actually I was. I still think relative, I mean, peace and prosperity, the federal government had a surplus. Let me emphasize this. The federal government, for the first time in God knows how fucking long, had more money than he could spend under the Clinton presidency. Who cares who cares how many fucking interns he fucked? Honestly, he could line up in the Oval Office, and anyone who had any sense wouldn't have cared.
Where did it go wrong then with the Iraq wars?
They killed Hussein.
Yep.
Hussein. Because Hussein was the only one, all the minority groups, the Muslim, insurrectionists, together, sort of skilled together. In my opinion, ERA was bumping him and using him as the boogeyman.
Well, yeah. Well, I'll put it even simpler than that. W wasn't as smart as his daddy was. There you go.
But he would have had advisors. This is the whole thing. It wouldn't have just been his decision. He would have had advisors.
But he was responsible for choosing advisors too. And again, that's, you know, and of course,
he wasn't a dumb man. He went to Harvard, didn't he?
You got enough money, Archie, you can go anywhere. Yeah. I don't think he was nearly as smart as his dad was. I don't think he would have got appointed as chairman of the CIA on his own accord, like HW was.
I see. Very interesting.
And Obama, in a lot of ways, I almost think it's Carter 2.0.
Clyde?
Yeah.
Clyde, could I ask you a question? You know, look, our press is very biased in this country, and they're only going to feed us what wants to be fed to us. Any, you know, general, you know, feeling of what the, you know, Trump's actions he's done in the last week, is that acceptable within the United States, or people looking down on that? You know,
no.
Are they in agreement with him, or?
Yeah, there's been a resurgence of popularity based upon his foreign policy actions last week. But again, wag the dog. Things are going so.
Just a bit of chest banging, isn't it?
Yeah. Or maybe like the Falklands War of '82.
Nothing like the fucking Falklands. A fucking shit piece of land in the middle of fucking South America. That was just the bombs belt in their chest. You know, they went into an inferior military, you know, to an inferior, wiped the floor with them, the Argentinians.
But on the other hand, Thatcher also rode the wave of popularism and nationalism at the time, and that allowed her to overcome. That allowed the public's. I'm going to take these headphones off. Sorry. What that did was basically allow them to allow the public to overcome the shortcomings in their domestic policy, in the economy, jobs, so forth. But eventually people forget about victory parades when they're standing in bread lines, unemployment lines. But the Falklands is also wag the dog. I mean, who honestly, okay. If chest banging is wag the dog, then I think we're basically talking about the same thing.
It's like the Yanks running up and down, you know, their fleet up and down the China Sea at the moment, the South China Sea. Yeah, go on, Kim Jong-il or whatever his name is, blow off the face of the planet. Well, good on the Yanks. You know, they're not being civilized, really. You know, launching, you know, weapons off in threat of Japan. You know, it's like kids. You know, like there's no good rationalising with kids. You know, using child psychology. Look on child psychology off the shelf and bang them over the ears with it. Once, they left it once, they'll learn. The same thing with a dog, isn't it? When your dog once, it won't do it again.
Oh, I think your audio and video is a little out of sync for some reason on the connection. But yeah, well, yeah, there has to be the threat of force, of course, and without the threat of force, diplomacy is useless. So that should be the last line. That should be the last resort.
What? Diplomacy or dropping a bomb?
Dropping it.
Obviously, America and the Trump administration have had enough. You know, they're trying to, you know, draw a line in the sand. You know, look, America doesn't want war. You know, they're just sort of threatening it. You know, they're threatening people, saying if you don't pull your head in, we'll belt it off your shoulders. Now, whether America has got that right to be the policeman in the world or not, that's another story. is all happening. We've got so-called United Nations, sitting there to stand up to the Yanks, aren't they? Across your our allies, Bill. Same side. In first anyway. The Australians go in before the Yanks. When feet are on the ground.
Well, maybe, hey, that's something. Maybe Archie can join the military.
That's exactly right. I'm a little bit old, unfortunately.
Well, maybe
after
they'll
40,
give you.
They don't let you in. They don't let you in after 40.
Maybe they'll give you a direct commission as a colonel.
Nah, he would want a question. He would want a question. There's no place in the military for people who question follow orders, whether they're right or wrong. That's the nature of the military. It's chain of command. Archie might have a little bit of
bragging.
A little bit of a problem with conforming that way, of being told what to do. He's not that sort of bloke.
Oh well, I'm just trying to think outside the box. Colonel Archibald. Anyway.
Guys, let's wrap. Do you want to keep talking or do you want me to wrap this up? Tell me, what do you want to do, guys?
No, it's a pretty thick conversation.
We can keep it on if you want to. I'll come back in an hour. I'll have a little lie down.
Yeah, all right.
A little lie. Might bring some good ratings to your channel.
Sure, okay. Just don't mention other channels, of course. You guys can keep chatting, okay?
Come back in 5, will you, please?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding. Oh. Well, actually, I was wanting to mention.
Question to the audience, Clive. Give us a bit of a go. Any questions, gentlemen? You might like to ask for it now, or we could clarify or something like that. No.
I'm still trying to get on the other browser. Well, actually, I think they like to. Maybe people might want to hear about his diet, his weight loss program. That'll get them rattled. I'm going to switch to the other window. Come on.
Here's a big John. Would you ever go for white Aussies? Yeah, I've lived with plenty in my time. Then I went to Asia after that, and I latched onto Asian women after that, gentlemen. But I'm a sexist, old-fashioned.
Oh. Sorry, I had the other browser open.
That's right. And there, little tits, my wife. Little tits sucker order. Gentlemen, give us a bit of prompting, please. It's getting a bit long in the day.
Chauvinist, no Aussie girls ever.
No, I wouldn't go there. They don't wash themselves properly. The thing I think should interest me with, an Asian woman, like, fuck you, they'll wash themselves first. And if you stop halfway between, they'll jump out of bed and, give themselves another wash, and they give them a second fucking, and then they'll go out and wash themselves a week again. Winter, or it doesn't matter. They'll jump in the shower. But that's Thai women. I had that personally. Pay for girls, or just take them. Pay for women. It doesn't matter what woman you're with. You're going to pay with, in one way or another. You're going to fuck them, or you're going to take them out for dinner, or the minute you walk out the house, or you're a woman. I walk out the house with my wife, and it's not going to be for free. and look after me. Maybe I'm jealous of Archie. Yeah, good luck to him for it too.
He can have all he.
Yeah. Yeah. Good once upon a time, you know, they tried to take on the rest of the world with radical attitudes, which wasn't conformist. That.
Twice. You're welcome.
Usually get them on Beach Road Potato, you know, when I'm in Thailand. Any recommendations? Yeah. Yeah, Beach, Potato Beach, well, they're trying to clean the attitude up towards Potato Beach. They want to make it a family resort, but that's not going to reduce the prostitution. Women here, you know, Thai women don't even give it away to their boyfriends or their husbands. Yeah, maybe right. Suckerwood is babbling here. Good questions, gentlemen. See if I can answer.
Yep.
Smokey, very, very considerate, you know, very, you know, considerate comment there. Abuse, Clyde.
No, I'm out of the relationship now.
Oh, you interact quite heavily in ArchieLuxury channel with regards to fisting, etc.
Yeah, actually, it's great fun. Living corpse. Yeah, I've got on the live streams. Actually, is when people take shots at me. But one of the nice things about getting older is I found the older I get, the less of a fuck I give.
Exactly, Clyde. Exactly, mate. You know, like it's not affecting your hip pocket, is it, or fish or prawns or something, is it? Got to say, means nothing to me. The few people I respect on YouTube, and most of them have been highly decorated military officers. You know, the people I've, you know, there's one chap I interact with at the moment, a personal basis. He's a highly decorated military officer. He's in our presence, but you know, the rest of you don't know. But yeah, I have great respect for him. There's another bloke, you know, highly decorated military officer. But you know, they maybe have a sense of mentality. You know, a lot of these others have.
I'm not even 50 years old. Thanks a lot. Well, you know, and there's some things, you know, the comments they keep asking about, they keep wanting me to bring up the, you know, but to me, it's like, I can refer to it indirectly, but where's the mystery if we bring it up directly, you know? Archie, you going to wrap it up and talk about weight loss?
Is he back yet? Yeah, he's been forced sitting back and enjoying this. Come back to us, me mate. Lead. You're the leader, not us.
Well, I see him there, I think.
He hasn't got his headphones on.
Oh, okay.
He's surfing at the moment. Yeah, he could be watching poor Mr. Lewis, yes.
Are you into investment properties?
That's several years. Rental properties are good, are good. But I've been retired since I'm 41. You know, since I've been 41, Clive. You know, I haven't worked. You know, I've been. You know, I haven't contributed to society. You know, I haven't worked for the last 20 years.
Is he eating another Easter egg?
Yeah, well, why not? Yeah, you're dead a long time. The Australians are the greatest consumers of chocolate in the world.
Really?
You know, per capita.
I thought
The beef. Yeah.
Well,
What career did I was a clerk in law. Just a paper shuffler. The United States is a paper shuffler. He's dead. Just a glorified name for making a decision.
all right. You want to see if we can get him to wrap it up?
You might have fallen asleep in the background, Clyde.
No, it almost looks like, is he not paying attention, or is he...
I'm not sure. It's getting a bit long.
Yeah.
Questions, gentlemen, please. I wouldn't agree with you there, Mr. Dion, Dion W. Archie's the best on here by any shadow of a doubt. I'm not in the same street as my mate. I help him as best as I can, but I'm not in the same street as him as far as this game's concerned.
You want to wrap it up and talk about doing a quick or just end it?
Oh, we can end it. I'll end it now. Thank you, guys.
Hey,
much appreciated.
One quick thing. Have I talked to you about Bulletproof coffee yet?
No.
Actually, I've been hearing about it for a while. I've started trying. It's like you do a little bit of coffee. It's like paleo, and you add. So there's all sorts of different ways how elaborate you can get, but really a good quality fresh coffee, and a little bit of butter, and then some coconut oil. So it forms like a almost like a latte almost.
And what do you do with this stuff?
You drink it.
Does it taste nice?
Yeah, it tastes like a watered down latte, but what they're saying is that the it's a weight control, it's an appetite suppressant.
Oh, okay.
But here I've been doing it for a few days, and goddamn it, I've been sleeping better.
Okay.
I've been sleeping better because I also think it reduces inflammation. So normally I've got problems in my I've got the beginnings of arthritis in that top vertebrae in my neck, my lower back, and sometimes, a lot of times, that'll get me up in the middle of the night, but not a problem doing this stuff all of a sudden.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, and it really does cut down the appetite. It really does cut down the appetite, and more of acting with the caffeine, it acts more of a long-term boost, more energy throughout the day, a little bit mental clarity.
That sounds fantastic.
Absolutely. You're clipping your toenails, aren't you?
No.
Okay, fine.
Okay, chat to you next week, fuckers.